Hi, everyone. This is Kitty. Good to talk with you. I've been getting lots of questions about the mortgage industry and housing and real estate through this COVID-19 time. So I thought I'd take a few minutes to just give you a quick video update on the mortgage environment and the real estate environment. So I've invited Brian Skelly. He's our
Hey,
local,
Kitty. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
sure. He's our local mortgage officer with William Ravis Mortgage Company, and has been in the business quite a while, really is an expert. So I was just going to ask him a couple questions here. Brian, I think the first question everyone wants to know is, how are the rates and what does the mortgage world look like right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. The rates are really good right now. Generally speaking, when the economy is not doing too well, that is typically good for mortgage rates. So it is a little bit of a silver lining to all of the things that are happening in the world that, if somebody's buying a home, it's almost more affordable than ever. And also some people are refinancing to see if they can lower their payments. 30-year rates are in the threes. It does vary from day to day, but there have been some great opportunities. And I would say, anybody with a rate with a 4 in front of it should definitely take a look at seeing if it makes sense to refinance. And it's a great time to buy a home.
That's a good point. That's awesome. So have there been, has COVID-19 affected the ability to get approval for mortgages? And has it affected credit scores or anything?
Yeah, that's a great question. For most people, it has not impacted them, but some people have been affected. So as everybody knows, unfortunately, some people have been unable to work. If they're in a profession that's maybe not considered essential, some companies have furloughed some employees. So that does impact the ability to use that income to qualify for a mortgage. But it's, there's other ways to do it too. So sometimes if you have 2 borrowers on a loan, or if you have a co-signer, even if one of them is maybe not working during COVID, we can still, try and find a way to make it work, or sometimes have other sources of income. But for most people, as long as they're still getting the regular paychecks, it hasn't been a problem from an income perspective. There have been some changes to the credit scores, particularly on the FHA loans. So we have seen the minimum credit scores on FHA loans have gone up. It used to be about 580 prior to COVID, and now it's more like 660, or in some cases 680, which is pretty significant. We have a lot of banks that we work with, so sometimes if one bank increases their credit score, we can pretty seamlessly kind of just switch them over to another bank, and that works out really well. So that's one of the things I like about this company. So.
Right, that's a very good point. So have there been a lot of changes to the mortgage and closing processes?
There have been some. So fortunately, we've been gearing up to be digital for the last couple years. So that's worked out well. I mean, we can pretty much do an entire application on the phone and on the website. They can sign all of the forms online from home. The buyers can upload their documents from home. We have an application for the phone where they can actually use their phone to take a picture of the pay stub, and that is secure and gets uploaded to their electronic file. So not everybody was doing that before. So before, maybe 70% of the people were doing the paperless mortgage process, and maybe 30% would want to come into the office and sign papers and stuff like that. So now, we're really doing our best to social distance and get everybody to do everything online. And then, in Connecticut, it is a requirement that the attorney who's doing the closing has to witness the buyer making the signatures. So it's been interesting. Some of the attorneys that I've talked to, they're getting kind of creative, and this is becoming normal, where maybe they'll go to somebody's house and sit in the driveway or on the front porch, and from a distance, they'll watch people sign the papers, going over them by email ahead of time. Or even in the parking lot at the attorney's office, the attorney might just through a crack in the window, hand like a stack of papers and then watch them sign it in their car. It's like a, drive-through mortgage closing. So it's, we're getting it done, and it's, the new normal now. So it's still possible.
Right, and I know closings are happening. I've heard adjustments in the appraisal process where there
Oh
are
yeah, yeah.
external only appraisals so that they're not going in the house. Home inspections are limited to the people that have to be there, and of course they have to wear masks and gloves and things. But so everything's being changed so the closings continue to happen. And I've seen a lot of things go on deposit in the last couple of weeks. So the inventory is really very tight. Not as many houses are coming on the market as people that want to buy. And then, of course, there's some pressure from New York to move into this area, which has really caused a spike in rentals around here. All the Airbnb houses near me are occupied with yellow license plates.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, it is. It is. It's very interesting. Um, so the other thing I see that's changed is we're doing virtual showings so that maybe for a first time look at a house, I might walk a buyer through via FaceTime or something or Zoom and see if they're really interested before bringing people into the house since it's so limited. But so that's kind of all I had. I think just to recap, it's a great time to refinance. Um, there is a tremendous demand for property. So if you're thinking about listing, think about it hard because it's a good time and it is our spring market. Closings are happening and we'll be able to make it happen for you. Anything you want to add, Brian?
No, I think you summed it up great. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, well, have a great day.
You too.